This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts.
Hi there, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast for the true fanatics. It's a weekly dive in the latest in TV news and reviews. I'm your host, Swanson. With me, as always, is my co-host and arrogant founder, Kate Stairmaster.
I want to be the British captain.
No, sorry, you get to be Josh Gad.
Oi,
Oi?
that's, hey, dude. How about that, IPO?
Yeah, there you go.
I know lots.
Sure.
I look like Jack Black.
He really does. It should have just fucking been Jack Black. That would have probably been funnier, right?
Yes.
Alright. Well, with us as always is our other co-host and nihilist customer service representative.
Hey guys, we're all gonna die.
We have a guest
and it doesn't
today.
matter.
We have a guest today. It's my cat.
Whoa. A rare guest.
Oh, isn't she precious?
Yeah, as always, we're recording in a studio so we can see the cat, and you can't.
Okay, the cat walked off.
Yeah. Probably to go, lick itself or something.
They like to do that, don't they?
They really do enjoy it.
Strange animals.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
How would you react if a human licked itself?
I'd be turned on.
Oh, alright.
Hmm.
Well, if you like what you're hearing so far, why not consider subscribing? We're available on all of the podcatchers of your choice, or on Apple Podcasts, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, and more. You can find us on any of those and give us a 5-star review if you're feeling nice and frisky.
And if you want to send us videos of you licking yourself, you can find us individually on Twitter.
That's right. We're on Twitter individually. I'm on Twitter at Jesse Swanson.
I'm on Twitter at RealKeoring. I'd like to announce that my DMs are in fact open.
I'm on Twitter at StareR1, and I don't actually condone doing that. I thought Swanson would shut it down immediately.
No, yeah, go ahead. And you can also find the show on Twitter at TV Tuners. You can use the hashtag TV Tuners, and we'll give a glance at what you're saying. Like this guy, Gimmicked Fathead.
Oh no!
Tweeted at us with who tweeted at us using the TV Tuners hashtag.
Oh, what did he say this time, Swanson? Oh my god!
He said, "Spit roast me."
What?
Oh, that's gonna be difficult. There's 3 of us, and I don't see how we can fit the third person in there.
Yeah, I guess it'll just be me and Stare.
Well, yeah, you guys can enjoy that to your heart's content.
Oh, are you jealous, Keo?
I'm the opposite of jealous.
I can step out if you want.
I'm not interested in spit roasting this man.
All right, at Mr. Gimmick,
Challenge accepted.
Name a time and place.
Look, in defiance of my earlier statement about licking oneself, this is a chaste podcast for Christians.
Wow, this is a Christian podcast?
Oh, Keo's born again.
Yeah, I'm born again, and I'm no longer going to be translating the Kaiji manga.
Oh, no.
Oh, you were doing that?
Little known passion project of Keo.
Yeah, my name is, FTM Sonic Crazy?
Fukumoto
or something?
Crazy.
I thought his name had Sonic in it somewhere.
No, why would you think it had Sonic in there?
That sounds exciting.
Now I'm just imagining Sonic with Kaiji's face on it. On him.
Oh, no.
So
that's what I want to see tweeted at us.
Sonic with a very sharp chin and sharp nose.
Yeah, it's very sharp.
Do not want.
Intense expression and
I'd rather have Sonic with human teeth again.
He's just crying and Dr. Robotnik looks like Tonagawa.
But yes, you can find us on Twitter, and also if you have any quips, comments, questions, foresights, or otherwise, you can send them to us at tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. What's that email, Keo Ryan?
ftmcrazy@gmail.net.
FTKM.
That's right. You can be like Frank, who gave us this email.
What?
It's titled Podbone Sandwich Zone.
Oh, no.
Hey, TVT. Would you rather eat a perfect Reuben sandwich or bust the perfect kickflip? My name is Frank, and I am reassimilating into the warp now. Goodbye.
Wow, that email sounds very familiar in terms of style.
Well, I mean, it's Frank. I don't know what you want.
Well,
I've never seen that kind of style before, Stairmaster. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and also this is clearly by a guy named Frank. Just like last week, it was by your cousin Marvin.
Oh yeah, it's good to hear from family.
Yeah, these are unique individuals.
Anyways, I think I would probably bust the perfect kickflip, since that's a moment I can share with others, while the sandwich is a solitary thing.
Yeah, and also, while I think Reubens are fine, I'm not a huge fan of sauerkraut, so I would much rather kick a flip.
Oh, But isn't it like the perfect sauerkraut?
Yeah, but I feel like the perfect sauerkraut is still sauerkraut.
I think factually, the perfect sauerkraut is, in fact, sauerkraut, and I'm not on board with that, so I'm gonna be skateboarding, I think.
So it seems like Keo and I are not in favor of sauerkraut. Just to be clear, what are your feelings on it?
I like sour cream sometimes on some things.
Okay, but that's nothing like sauerkraut.
That's almost nothing like sauerkraut.
Yeah, like I don't know about Keo Ryan. I don't want to speak for him, but I'm a big fan of sour cream. I'm completely different I am indifferent on sauerkraut.
I don't know if I really want to share with the public how much of a picky eater I am, but I don't think I've ever had sauerkraut.
All right, so we're all indifferent on sauerkraut. Give us your sauerkraut thoughts on using the hashtag Krautfan.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
So yeah, I guess I would bust the perfect kickflip. Keo Ryan, did you answer this?
Absolutely, I would be skateboarding.
Yeah, so we'd all be kickflipping, and none of us would have this Reuben.
Stunts together.
Yeah, we'll be shredding up the park. They'll have to rename the game. It'll be TV Tuners Pro Skater.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack will be all anime songs.
Yeah, it's all the openings.
It'll be all anime songs, and then the Cheers theme song will just be in there randomly.
I wonder who will put that in there.
Oh, it'll be Frasier.
To
keep the anime theme going.
It'll be a bunch of anime songs and just, baby, I hear the blues are calling.
And no one will notice.
Yeah.
Because the only people who will play it are Zoomers.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on with the podcast, huh? What'd you guys watch this week? Anything interesting?
I watched the Caucus Unfolding Disaster.
Oh, that sounds like a bad thing to watch.
Yeah. It's cool how we just have, like, an entire apparatus of our society designed to lie to our faces and make us feel as bad as possible.
Nice.
And the best part of this is that the nightmare is still ongoing.
Yeah, as of this recording, it has not finished, and I imagine by the time it's released, the episode, this will still not have been finished.
Wake me up. Wake me up.
It's pretty great. It's pretty great watching them on TV, like waiting for the results to come in before finally realizing that the results are not going to come in.
And then to have Mayor Pete just be like, I won.
Yeah, he won.
And then he ran out and crawled into the wall, into a crack in the wall.
Yeah, and he hasn't been seen since. Last we saw of him, he was eating a cinnamon roll like a wing.
Anyway, what did you see, Keo?
Can we talk about this photograph? This photograph of Mayor Pete?
I mean,
sure. I'll share it. I'll share it later on Twitter, but describe it for us, Keo.
I think everyone's seen it at this point, but go on.
I hadn't seen it before someone posted it a couple days ago. But so we have Pete here. He seems to be in some kind of nice restaurant or cafe with marble countertops, And forefront of the image is a dismembered and torn apart cinnamon roll, just torn into shreds and piled onto this plate.
You're really making this sound like
There's
victim.
a little shitty plastic knife sticking.
Yeah,
out of
you're
it.
making it sound like the cinnamon roll has been victimized.
Yeah, it's some Hannibal shit.
And
This is his design.
of course, the very next thing you'll notice is Mayor Pete's intense face as he, with both hands on the shredded piece of cinnamon roll.
Yeah, cavemen-like.
Just biting into it. Well, it's not quite caveman-like because he's not really clenching it with his fingers. He's holding it delicately like it's a piece of meat.
His cheeks are like furled.
Yeah, I guess it's more like beaver-like or like chipmunk-like.
But look at
the way
his
that he
eyes
nibbles at it.
are still glassy and empty.
He's biting into it intensely, but his eyes are not in it.
I know.
His eyebrows.
It's like only his reptile brain is feeling it.
And also
His-
because it's Mayor Pete, he makes sure to show his designer watch in the photo.
Yeah, so no human being that I'm aware of will eat a cinnamon roll like this. So I'm wondering what the process was for this to come about. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I have a cinnamon roll, I just pick it up, with one hand without cutting it at all and just bite it.
Here's what it is. I think Pete Buttigieg is a bit of a clean freak, so he wants to minimize his surface area. So that's why he cuts into smaller pieces, so he can hold it with only one finger. One or two
He's
fingers.
holding it with.
You don't need to bite. Okay, but this doesn't explain biting into it like it were a chicken wing.
I think that's
Yeah,
not what he knows how to eat.
When I first saw the thumbnail of this image, I assumed he was eating chicken wings.
And you were aghast to find out the truth.
Yeah, I was horribly mistaken and deeply upset.
All right, well, this is
I
what
assume
we
he's-
watched on TV.
I think he thinks he's supposed to tear stuff off of it.
Like
Like
he thinks
what?
there's
The roll?
something in the middle that you're not supposed to eat.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
the
he did
core
cut
of the
it- he did
cinnamon
cut it
roll is
into
poison or
pieces.
something.
As you can see in the image.
Maybe this is his first time eating a cinnamon roll.
Well,
Have you considered
obviously.
this possibility?
Yeah, he had,
Wait, are
he had
you
to
saying
dissect it to see exactly how this food worked before he started eating it.
Yeah. He'd never eaten a cinnamon roll before. America, ask yourself, do you want to vote for someone who's only eaten one cinnamon roll their entire life?
So I guess this means
And-
Jason doesn't cook for him or provide him food of any kind.
No. I mean,
No,
they
he
could
has to.
provide him food, he just doesn't eat cinnamon rolls.
He scrounges around for food. He doesn't really.
Yeah, he's a scavenger. All right, well, this has been TV talk. We talked about all the stuff on TV.
Did you watch anything, Swanson?
We talked about all the stuff on TV. So let's move on to the news, huh?
Swanson, did you watch anything?
Yeah, we talked about it all. Let's go on to the news, huh?
Okay. What's on the news?
Well, as you guys may know, this past Sunday was the Super Bowl.
Dun dun dun
As of this
dun 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 dun.
To be clear, this past Sunday, as of the recording, by the time this releases, we'll be talking about the Super Bowl afterwards. But still,
I had to stop the song because Swanson leveled a gun to my face.
yeah, I wouldn't want to get sued.
Well,
So naturally,
copyright Kevin does not like it when you do that.
yeah, he's an ominous figure who sort of stands in the corner.
NFL Nate.
Yeah. And as always with the Super Bowl, a team won. And you're either happy or sad, I guess.
Yeah, go
I think that's how-
Kansas.
I think that's how sports work, right?
Yeah. I assume none of us really cared unless Keo's like a big fan of the Bay Area. And I didn't know about it.
Yeah, Swanson, you're like really upsetting me with this nonchalant talk about my sacred sport event.
Yeah, you really love the football team, the San Francisco. What were they, Keo, right?
This San Francisco Packers.
That's right.
The Golden Gate Warriors.
Yeah. Yeah, the classic football team, the Lakers. They didn't win the Super Bowl this year. In fact, they lost to the Kansas City Bucks.
Kansas City Broncos?
That's right.
I thought it was the Kansas City Chiefs.
That is their actual name, yeah. But the game itself wasn't important.
It never is.
I mean, it never is. There was a halftime show where Shakira and Jennifer Lopez upset half the nation by shaking their butts and then made the other half aroused.
Well, according to Jeb Bush, it was the best halftime show of all time.
Yeah, and then according to half of Jeb Bush's Twitter, it was the most disgraceful.
How was this controversial in 2020? I thought we all knew what butts were at this point.
Well, I mean,
they're sinful.
You've got to remember how many boomers watched the Super Bowl.
What if they shook their butts at the flag? Imagine that.
Yeah.
Deeply offensive, sir.
Although, that said, in 2020, I did appreciate a halftime show that was, like, ridiculously Latino. Like, super Latino. There was not a single non-Latino person on the stage, I'm pretty sure, so that's cool. Anyway, that's not really the thing we came to talk about today. We came to talk about the most important part. The ads!
Advertisements.
For some inexplicable reason, advertising companies love putting their product on the most eyes possible. I never can understand why, though.
I can't wait to look at what these brands are up to.
And the Super Bowl is consistently the most watched program on television, so naturally, everybody goes all out for these ads. That means they're going to be, like, high quality, good stuff, right?
Yes.
Right, guys? Yeah? We're going to, get the best?
There's going to be a lot of colors, and they're going to try to shock us.
And there'll be great mythological turns.
Yeah, you're all wrong. As usual, the ads are just sort of crass commercialization featuring actors who got paid probably way too much, or were given, like, I don't know, a Mountain Dew. Like, I'm pretty sure Bryan Cranston was paid in Mountain Dew.
I wonder what we're talking about here.
Well, first I want to talk about the one we already talked about. We'll go real short on this.
Yeah,
last week we talked about... No. We talked about Baby Nut.
Oh, well, that one was also
week.
baffling.
And I just want to strike once again that was bad. It was a bad one. So now we got to ask ourselves. I gave you 3 more commercials that I wanted to talk about. We have to figure out which one of these is the most baffling. So Baby Nut obviously is the most baffling that we've watched so far, but let's go through these 3 and see if they compare to Baby Nut. So first up, we've got Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. This commercial...
You guys talked about this, but the premise of this commercial is just I don't really get it.
Talk about low-hanging fruit. If they had just been a smidgen more clever, they could have been like all no dew makes Jack a dull boy.
Yeah. Or, I don't know, have Bryan Cranston be like, I am the one who knocks when he's like knocking when he's like cutting the door down. That'd be funny.
No,
I think that'd be corny and forced. And you're fired.
I mean, that's advertising funny.
But instead of that, we get a strange combination of him being an axe murderer, but also surprising somebody with Mountain Dew.
Yeah. So this is a play on The Shining, Kiora, and if you've ever seen this scene where he says, "Here's Johnny."
Yeah. But why is she running from him if he's just bringing soda?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess because he is wielding an axe, which is a good reason to run away from somebody.
Why is he wielding an axe
Also,
if he's got soda?
This doesn't look as good as Ready Player One's recreation of The Shining.
Yeah, which is saying something because that was also a bad movie.
Yes.
But yeah, this is look. I feel like I know how this advertisement was pitched, which is, hey, you've seen The Shining, right? Yeah. All right. Well, you remember how the elevator like fills with blood in that one scene? What if it filled with Mountain Dew?
Why isn't that the crux of the advertisement?
I mean, that's the end of it, but like...
Yeah, it should be her running from Bryan Cranston, and that's like the dramatic reveal.
Yeah, like that should, like the
and then
the
they
crux
like
of it...
reconcile because they love Mountain Dew so much.
Yeah, something. Or just have him fucking die in like a cooler filled with Mountain Dew or something. Like he runs into it, he's chasing a child through a cooler of Mountain Dew.
It's a kid from Stranger Things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Finn Wolfhard, and he's just going, Finn! Finn!
Also, I want to mention that this...
Oh, no! We have Bryan Cranston at the bar, and he's talking about he's dry, but then the bartender tempts him with Mountain Dew.
Yes.
And then the bartender reveals it's okay because there's no sugar.
That's an actually good idea for a commercial.
Yeah, I was going to mention that this was not for Mountain Dew. It was for some kind of diet Mountain Dew, which I don't know. I don't think that's viable. I don't want that.
Well, it claims to be as good as the original.
Yes. None of the sugar, all of the taste.
Yeah.
The whole point of Mountain Dew is you're supposed to have a lot of sugar in it.
I think maybe the idea and the weird advertising idea here is that the wife is scared but then relieved when she finds out that the Mountain Dew is the same as the original.
Okay, here's another one. Bryan Cranston walking into a bathroom and a giant Mountain Dew bottle comes out of the bath and they make out. Yeah. And then it morphs into zero sugar.
You know what? Do a different movie entirely. It's Bryan Cranston. He's at his deathbed, and he's pointing and he's pointing out, and it's a giant Mountain Dew bottle.
Yeah, it's aged up. It's Jonathan Banks.
Yes.
And then he de-ages into Bryan Cranston, and then into a space baby.
Yeah.
And he's flying back to Earth, but the ocean's been replaced with Mountain Dew.
Perfect.
Or just
I'm lost here. I'm completely lost here.
Look, Mountain Dew, if you're looking for next year's
Mountain Dew.
Yeah, Mountain Dew, if you're looking for next year's Super Bowl ad, contact us. All right. So, do you think this is a more baffling ad than Baby Nut, or is it just like stupid?
It's baffling that they went so lazy with it.
Yeah, I feel like it's lazier than that. Like,
it's just kind of bad. Not remarkable in any way.
Yeah, the Baby Nut ad is baffling because of that's the payoff to like their dumb ad campaign.
But
it's just copy
purpose.
Baby Yoda.
There's a twisted logic to Baby Nut, except for the fact they call it Baby Nut.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I think it might be just for calling it Baby Nut.
All right. So next we got a Sabra hummus commercial. This one is more just annoying than anything.
More conventional, I guess.
Yeah.
This wasn't baffling at all. It was just kind of loud.
There's a very cringe "Okay Boomer" thing.
Yeah, because
which I assume was written by a 40-year-old.
Yeah, he eats hummus with his pretzels, which is, I guess, a boomer thing.
Unforgivable. Even though this commercial is headed by like a very boomer figure, Ric Flair.
Ric Flair, the ultimate boomer.
Signals.
Wrestling legend Ric Flair is heading this, asking people, "How do you muss? Woo!"
He's not in it all that much.
No, but we do get Jaleel White is in here as well.
Yeah, blink and you miss it.
Yeah, well, he's there for two parts. He flexes his bicep at one point and like looks at the camera to remind everyone that in real life he's not Urkel, he's Stefan.
Listen, am I the only one who thinks that the product of hummus does not go along this loud, colorful, obnoxious advertising?
What I was more concerned with is all of the different foods that they put hummus in. Just use pita chips. I don't need to be dipping my hummus in pizza. Or fucking crab legs? Who the hell is dipping hummus in crab legs?
People are gonna guillotine, that's who. Oh, speaking of guillotine.
I think of hummus as, this kind of low-key little food product that you might dip some pita chips into, not this crazy thing that a bunch of celebrities are eating in bright, colorful rooms and talking about, this is how I must.
Yeah, also, how bad of an advertisement... Yeah, how bad is the advertising campaign of How I Must?
Yeah, they don't make a single Uncut Gems reference. Ric Flair should have gotten shot in the face at the end.
I'm gonna muss.
Holy shit, I'm gonna muss.
If Adam Sandler had shown up and said, holy shit, I'm gonna muss, it would have been a better commercial.
I'm just trying to picture somebody who doesn't eat hummus and hasn't had it before, watching this commercial and thinking afterwards that they want to eat hummus.
Has this entire episode been a way to reveal that Stairmaster's a picky eater?
Yes.
He hasn't eaten sauerkraut or hummus.
I'm sorry, everyone.
I mean, that's fine.
My parents were too enabling.
I'm pretty sure I didn't eat hummus until I was, in my 20s, so...
There's still time for me to turn it around, I guess.
Yeah, you can turn it around, Stairmaster. You can eat hummus right now. You can muss anytime you want.
Maybe.
It's pretty good, but it's not crazy like this commercial is going to suggest.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think this was a pretty conventional commercial.
Speaking of guillotines, the third commercial I've decided is the most baffling.
Yeah, I think this is arguably the one that's more baffling, or maybe as baffling as Baby Nut.
Is it because the premise of the commercial does not tie it all to the product?
No, it's like even worse.
Yeah. So this is a commercial for Rocket Mortgage, which is a hot new mortgage company, apparently. And to get their brand across, they hired Jason Momoa, Aquaman himself, to come around and be like, after a busy day of being a big, famous, beefy celebrity, I like to go home and rip off my arms to become a CGI monstrosity.
Yeah, so they associate getting a mortgage with just tearing
Security.
parts of yourself away.
Well, no, it's the idea in the actual ad itself is that Jason Momoa feels so secure because of his rocket mortgage that he is able to take off his fake arms.
Yeah, but the visuals him stripping away his own identity.
But it's not even that he's comfortable with his mortgage. He's comfortable at his house where he lives.
Which has nothing to do with his mortgage.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it's not that like his finances are comfortable.
But anyways, I don't see how you can't watch this and associate getting a mortgage with tearing yourself apart, stripping parts of yourself away.
Well, those parts are fake, Stairmaster. In the ad, those parts are fake because he's clearly wearing a suit.
Yeah, he's revealing himself as a scrawny little manlet.
He's a balding manlet who can't lift an unracked bar.
I don't understand how this could possibly lead someone to thinking that getting this mortgage is a good idea.
Yeah. You should be just like Jason Momoa and creepily look at the camera while your bald ass plays a...
bald ass? Oh, yeah, he does take his hair off.
Yeah, he doesn't have any hair. He takes his hair off.
Shouldn't the advertisement emphasize that the mortgage is easy to get and has good rates or something? Not that you're going to be comfortable in your house.
Also, nobody who's watching this commercial is going to be able to afford that house.
Well, yeah, you're not Jason Momoa. You need to get big, beefy, fake arms like Jason Momoa.
I think everyone out there, for the most part, has experienced living in a place that they consider their own location.
Yeah, putting on comfortable clothing when you get home.
Yeah. When you think about it, putting on sweatpants is quite like taking off fake arms that you've been wearing all day.
No, I think they're real arms. But he strips them away anyways, just to feel more comfortable.
Hold on, you think these are real arms when they clearly look fake when he takes them off?
Why?
Expand on this. How do you think they are real arms when he takes them off?
He doesn't look real when he's skinny. It's a monstrosity.
That's because it's CGI. You're supposed to suspend your disbelief.
That's the real him. It shows his true strength, which is that he can't lift the weight bar.
Yeah, which is like a SpongeBob reference. It's like he's actually pulling two SpongeBobs, because it's like when SpongeBob had muscle arms.
But is the Jason Momoa, the one who lives in private, the one we can't see, really the real Momoa? Or is the one that appeared before our eyes?
According to this commercial, the scrawny one's the real one.
I mean, the question, it's all about presentation, I guess. I don't know, do you really want to dig this deep into a dumb Rocket mortgage ad?
Anyways, either way, this associates weakness with mortgages.
Yeah. I mean, that tracks.
Weakness in living a shameful existence.
Yeah,
you know what I think about Rocket?
Literally bald.
You know what I think about Rocket mortgages, guys?
What?
They don't have the stamina.
Yeah, okay.
Sad.
So yeah, I'm going with Rocket Mortgage. It's the most baffling of these three.
Yeah, I feel like it's a tough task to be more baffling than Baby Nut, but congratulations, Rocket Mortgage. You really did it. I think the most baffling part about this ad is at the end when it shows like a little logo for Rocket Mortgage, and then next to it is like Jason Momoa with his like little spindly arm, like that's their new logo. Like their new like character is Jason Momoa's spindly arms.
Oh god.
Also, why does he feel like he needs to like even attempt to lift the bar on the weights when he has fake beefy arms he can put on? Like, why bother trying to, like, be fit?
Yeah, I thought he was comfortable with how he was in his house, but it shows him working. The premise is just baffling to me. This is truly confusing. I don't get it.
Anyway, so yeah, congratulations, guys. That was the most baffling Super Bowl commercial of the year.
We should just do a podcast that's entirely advertising reviews.
Oh God.
Oh, that sounds...
I would be a Maoist by the third episode.
If
And
you
I'd
support
be
this
in jail by the 5th.
if you support this premise, listeners out there, contact us and let us know you like the idea.
Yeah, you know what? And you know what? Maybe we'll maybe when our Patreon loads up in the year 2525, we'll get ourselves a little advertising podcast.
Or we could do a 24 recap podcast. That would probably be more fun.
Why couldn't we do both?
Oh, that'd be a lot of money.
Well, yeah,
we'll be rich.
yeah. That's how Patreon works, everybody.
We'll be buying the expensive hot dogs.
Yep,
You mean the ones that come in the same amount as buns?
that's
Yeah.
right. All right, moving on from the news, we have. Oh, wait a second. I've got breaking news.
Oh, straight
What?
hot off the wire.
Hot off the wire, breaking news.
Ow, I shocked
Oh.
myself on the wire.
A new streaming service has been announced.
Streamers.
Again?
The Stream Wars heats up. Stream Wars.
I don't know. This war is pretty
IMDb
luke.
is getting in on it.
Oh,
Yeah, you know, big names like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Disney, Apple TV. Now, IMDb.
What? IMDb streaming?
That's right. The Internet Movie Database is creating IMDb TV. Which, I mean, say what you want. At least it rhymes, I guess.
Is this original programming or?
No original. As of yet, no original programming on IMDb TV. But it does have a string of actually pretty okay shows that you can't really find anywhere else right now.
go on.
So when I think of IMDb, I think of two things.
Yeah.
One of the first one is possibly inaccurate information about TV shows.
Yeah.
And second
time.
one, the second one is user posted reviews that offer no insight on the show.
Yeah, I don't know what the infrastructure of IMDb TV is, but I would be pretty upset if there weren't reviews posted at the bottom of the TV episodes that you watch
Oh god.
of people being couldn't get into this, too much sex.
Yeah, I want a play-by-play review where people can post their opinions on the show, and I see them at the bottom.
You think the IMDb original programming is going to be borderline pornographic?
Well, currently there doesn't seem to be any IMDb TV original programming in the slate at all.
That's what you're
It's just-
predicting.
What, that there's going to be? No, I don't think so.
That's going to be pornographic.
I don't think there's going to be any.
Oh.
No, there's going to be a lot of reviews complaining about the sex scene at the beginning of the show.
Well, Desperate Housewives is one of the shows that they have, so there probably will be, yeah.
What else is there?
Scandalous. Well, first off, IMDb is apparently a free service supported by ads. So you actually don't have to pay any money to watch these shows, which is, I guess, kind of nice if you want to sit through some ads. Here's the other thing about IMDb TV, which might be also why it's free. It's owned by Amazon.
Oh.
What?
Yeah,
Wait, is
IMDb is owned by
Amazon?
Amazon, apparently.
But is IMDb owned by Amazon itself?
IMDb itself, I'm pretty sure, is owned by Amazon.
Oh.
IMDb TV for sure is, so I have to assume IMDb itself is also maybe.
How far does
what's the
Amazon's tentacles reach?
But wait, what's the play here? Why is Amazon doing this?
I don't know. Maybe they don't make enough money on these reruns of these shows that they have, so they're offering them for free to get people to maybe. I imagine the ads are for Amazon products, probably, right?
Oh, that would probably you'd gotta.
That's probably it.
So this is all a way to get people to watch Bosch or whatever.
Yeah, some of the shows listed on here: Desperate Housewives, My So-Called Life, Malcolm in the Middle, and Lost. That's right. You'll be able to watch Bryan Cranston not drinking Mountain Dew in Malcolm in the Middle.
I bet he drinks Mountain Dew in at least one of those episodes.
Yeah. Also, USA show White Collar featuring the now what's her title?
Secretary of State.
What? No, the one who's married to Prince Harry.
Duchess of York.
Yeah, sure. Featuring the now Duchess of York.
Well, do you have any takes on White Collar?
Wait, she wasn't on White Collar. She was on Suits. I don't know what white collar is.
I'm pretty sure it's about that guy who embezzled a bunch of money and now he works for the FBI.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was probably an alright show. I mean, sure. Why not give it a watch? Do whatever. Malcolm in the Middle won't be on the service until May 1st.
Oh, come the fuck on. But we'll be
for
in the
now,
correct aspect ratio.
Probably, yeah. So wait, sorry. Lost won't be on there till May 1st. Malcolm in the Middle isn't on there till June 1st. But right now you can currently watch 20 plus fan favorite TV titles.
Does anyone really want to watch Lost in 2020?
I'm sure there are people who want to watch Lost.
Can't wait to get started on that show, which I heard ends very well.
That's like one level above watching Bleach in 2020.
Well, there's at least one of these shows. One of the shows in this list is going to excite Stairmaster. So
is it Bleach?
No. IMDb TV offerings include The Middle, Leverage, Heart to Heart, Dr. Ken, Almost Human, plus a show called Corner Gas, Fringe, Revolution, The Following, Heroes, and The Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yes! I knew... Somehow I felt that this was going to happen at the start of the segment.
And apparently there are also movies on here, but the only one that I've seen listed in any reports is Chappie. So I guess if you want to watch Chappie, you can watch it on IMDb TV.
That sounds like an intriguing movie.
Okay, so the police build like this robot to fight crime, but then the criminals get a hold of it. Wait, is that no? That's a different movie.
Oh.
Okay, then what's Chappie then?
I think it's the same thing but stupider.
Yeah, I remember Chappie was like a Short Circuit were a serious movie. Anyway, you can watch IMDb TV right now at the comfort of your home.
Get off this podcast and log in.
We could, why not do both?
Watch Malcolm in the Middle while listening to me.
So really, I mean, I guess by not charging anything, IMDb TV is sort of a decent little thing there.
Alright guys, let's go around the table and determine which Malcolm in the Middle characters we're most like. We can't just choose for ourselves, of course.
Alright, well, Stairmaster, you're probably the most like Dewey.
Swanson's a bit like Francis.
Fair.
And Keo Ryan, what's your pick?
Keo, you're like Malcolm. No. Yeah.
Keo's Malcolm?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. He is sort of always in the middle of us.
Life is unfair.
I'm glad none of us picked Stevie.
Well, none of us are like
deeply
Stevie.
Problematic. Hey, want to hear me do an impression of him?
No. Alright, well, let's get to this next news item here. Speaking of streaming services and their... What?
Keo didn't even pick one.
We did. Yeah, we gave Keo one.
Yeah, well, he didn't pick one for you or me. I just wanted to hear his take is all.
I'll admit I'm not too familiar with the characters anymore.
Yeah,
oh no!
It's the vibe I was getting, which is why I moved on.
And I pretty much agree with Stairs' takes as far as...
Okay.
All right.
Sorry, everyone, I ruined the episode.
Well, nothing new. All right.
Just edit this. As far as I can just edit it out, don't worry, Stair.
Yeah, I'll just edit it out.
Oh, so I can say whatever I want, including beep.
I mean, don't you always?
Yeah. I'm a free bird.
All right, let's move... All right, let's move on from one streaming service to another.
Oh?
Peacock! The name that every time I say it, I feel a little more dead inside.
They should change it to Flamingo.
I mean, that's not the logo.
But it's a better name for.
It's a bird.
All these networks should just have their logos be their name of their streaming service.
We've already
CBSI.
Swanson, we've already done this.
Fox Spotlight. CW.
Swanson, please. We can't keep repeating the bit. I beg of you.
It's only bad if you keep saying that you repeated it.
Yes, otherwise we could have gotten away with it scot-free. Felony for
who's gonna call us on it?
Yeah.
Your cousin who emailed us.
the operators of the TV Tuners Wiki.
Oh, who's that?
Those guys.
They categorize all of our bits.
They sure have. Anyway, in an effort to get a sort of edge in the streaming wars, Peacock has a bold new idea.
Again?
NBC has recent... Huh?
Again? This is like the second time this month that they've done this.
They're a very vibrant creature. They have a very big tail. They've got a lot of bold moves.
Yeah,
so.
and to be clear, Peacock still isn't even out yet.
It feels like they're like a dying rat thrashing about. Sort of like Pete Buttigieg.
Can you be dying before you're born?
Yes.
I guess yes.
Yes.
NBC is planning on trying to get new episodes of Jimmy Fallon's Tonight Show and Steph Meyer's Late Night on the streaming service early.
Early?
Well, those are some big gets.
What do you mean early?
Right, guys?
As in a few hours before they air on television.
In the day?
Well, probably I don't know,
in the evening?
6, 7, probably.
That is
I don't know.
Nice
There's no
by any measure.
What?
That's not
in the
night.
in the wintertime it is.
Oh,
Yeah, that's night.
I guess.
And it's doing whatever it can to convince its local affiliates to let it happen. Now, if you're not familiar with how the affiliate system works, let me try and explain the best I can.
Info Corner.
Swanson, hold on. Let me get a piece of paper to write this down.
Okay.
This will be on the exam.
Yes,
All right.
Kiora, and you will be quizzed on this. All right. So every city around the world, every major metropolitan city, has its own sort of local affiliates for these major broadcast networks.
Every city?
Even Tokyo?
Major American metropolitan city, yes.
Oh. Even Tokyo,
okay.
Georgia?
So
Every
Neo
city has
Tokyo
an
is concluded.
affiliate. Neo Tokyo.
Yes. So all of these local affiliates have their own sort of news stations and broadcast channels where they air local ads and
Wait, every city has a station?
every major metropolitan city, yes.
For NBC.
For NBC, for CBS, for ABC, for Fox. I think for CW even.
This is crazy. This is insane. How could they possibly do this?
Money.
Oh
They
my
exchange
god.
some money for labor to construct the buildings and then pay people.
Now, the reason that the affiliates may be upset with this is that these late shows provide a revenue stream for them as something to lead into. Because they get local advertisement off of the commercials that run in between the Tonight Show and the Late Show and all the other ones that run on the other affiliates that aren't NBC.
Another casualty in the stream wars.
And
That's
it also
right.
gets people to watch the newscasts. Because they're
Exactly.
on right before. Oh,
You're not going to watch local Pittsburgh anchor Peggy Finnegan if you don't know that Stephen Colbert is coming up next to talk about how Trump is doing something weird.
All right, Peggy.
guess what, folks? Trump is gay again!
Peggy Finnegan.
No, don't write that down.
I might be quizzed on this there.
That's
Yeah.
just an example you used.
I don't know. Maybe Keo should write that down.
I wrote it down.
All right. So, in the affiliate's eyes, there's no reason to watch their TV shows when you can just go get the Late Show or I guess the Tonight Show. I mean, for whenever earlier before it even comes on the air. So it's going to be quite an uphill battle for NBC to get this sort of thing off the ground.
Would you say it's uphill or more like mountainous?
Probably mountainous. It'll be funny to see if NBC just decides to do it anyway.
Maybe perhaps Sisyphean is more correct.
Sisyphean would be how I describe most of broadcast network TV. So yes,
We are cutting ties with the affiliate. They are on their own. They must fend for themselves in the wilds.
We have cut ties with the affiliates. Pray we do not cut them further.
Well, I don't think you can cut them further.
No, they're just going to kill the affiliates.
It's going to be bloody stare. It's going to be bloody.
If this happens, we can expect it to happen on Peacock's premium tier when that debuts in July. This is a reminder, of course, that Peacock has a regular tier with free with ads, quite like IMDb TV, that includes all of their old shows like The Office and whatnot.
When do we get to talk about not streaming?
Never. Welcome to 2020. And that's it for the news. So let's take a quick smoke break while I talk about the Big Heads Media Podcast Network.
Oh?
That's right. We're part of Big Heads Media, and so is this podcast. It's called How Will I Die? Stairmaster kind of teed it up already.
Probably from lung cancer.
Each week, the host tackles a different way to die, and I guess how he would die. It sounds morbid, but kind of fun. Listen to the ad.
Did you know that a man once jumped into a bulletproof window so much that he busted it out of the frame and fell to his death? I do. Hey, I'm Nicholas Howe, and I made an improvised comedy storytelling podcast about this death and many others. Using a multiverse of me's as the catalyst, I explore the various ways people have died. I also have special guests on and freak them out about how dangerous the world is. Did you know lakes can explode? You do now. Listen to the How Will I Die podcast on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts, and follow us on Twitter at HWIDIEPOD.
I can't wait to die.
I have CPD.
That was grim.
I have CPD now.
You have CBD?
CPD.
Oh.
Chronic pulmonary disorder.
Well, I wish you had CBD.
Yeah, that would be a lot better.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, go check that out and any of the other podcasts on BigHeadsMedia.com. We're there too.
Big head, big head, big head, big
Check
head.
out today. And now it's time for a segment near and dear to everybody's hearts. It's time for Guess Who's Coming to TV This Month? Hit the theme, Kyorain.
Bum, 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 bum. Guess who?
That's right. Welcome to Guess Who's Coming to TV This Month, the now monthly segment in which I give you guys titles of the shows coming to TV in this month of February, or, monthly. And you guys guess what the premise is.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm ready.
And we get points.
Yeah, you get points, and the winner gets a big prize. It's in this box.
It's a sauerkraut?
I won't tell. All right, this first show is called Duncanville.
Oh, no.
So there's this man who has rugged TV good looks.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And he's the mayor of a city.
All right.
Called Duncanville. And he has to solve the problems in town. And there's a hostage situation.
Oh, okay.
All right.
And he's gonna solve it.
It's a spin-off of the TV show Stalkers, starring Dylan McDermott, where his character Duncan decides to form his own community of solely consisting of stalkers. And it becomes like a character study.
A bold gambit, considering his character on Stalker was
the
not Duncan.
Fuck! The wrong Duncan.
Duncan was the character from what was that one, Keo?
Oh no!
It started with an H.
Hostages.
Hostages, yes.
Oh no!
Hostages and Stalker, two equally terrible shows. No, Duncanville is a Fox show, and let's see who got it the closest. Duncan Harris, an average 15-year-old boy, is always one step away from making a bad decision. Along with Duncan lives his mom, a parking enforcement officer who dreams of being a detective someday, and always has to watch Duncan, his dad, who tries to be a better father figure to Duncan than his father was to him. His sister Kimberly, who is a normal teenager going through normal teen phases, and his other sister Jing, who's an intelligent 5-year-old always giving Duncan advice.
So
this is an animated program.
He's watching people, i.e., stalking them.
I didn't hear anything about watching people.
But you have to keep an eye on them. And there's a detective, just like stalkers.
Keo, you want to try and defend yours?
Yeah, I got nothing.
All right, well, I guess Derek gets the point.
Yeah, I was too eloquent.
Yeah.
I mean, the best I could do is that there's a city involved somewhere there.
Stare's big brain got on the point.
It's towering from my skull.
Next is a CBS show. This one is called Tommy.
Uh-oh.
You go first, there.
Lots of just names in this one.
Alright, so Tommy, he's a paralegal and he wants to become a lawyer. And he lives in New York. And he's got a girlfriend.
Oh, alright.
But he lives with his parents. Maybe one of them is dead.
Okay, so Tommy does not take place in New York.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Alright, bold.
Stare said New York, right? Because I want to counter
it
by saying that it's not New York. Okay.
He said New York.
Does not take place in New York, and the main character's name is Tommy, and Tommy has a Tommy gun.
Oh shit!
Oh, uh-oh. Double Tommy.
Hijinks ensue.
Oh,
Hijinks or massacres?
Well, those can be hijinks, depending on who is getting massacred.
All I know is that Tommy has a gun.
Like, I would describe the end of Inglourious. I would describe the end of Inglourious Bastards as hijinks.
I would say that's shenanigans.
I guess, yeah, in a way. What's that movie where Tom Cruise tries to blow up Hitler?
Valkyrie.
Yeah, that's hijinks.
Yes, that's hijinks.
All right. Tommy follows a former high-ranking NYPD officer who becomes the first female chief of police for Los Angeles.
New York.
A true blue New Yorker, Abigail Tommy Thomas, uses her unflinching honesty and hardball tactics to keep social, political, and national security issues from hindering effective law enforcement in the Southland. It sounds like she's a big old pig.
She lived in New York, and she was a legal something.
Does the police chief carry a gun?
Yes.
Yes, technically. And you did guess that it was not New York, so I think you get the point, Kyo.
I get the point. Not on that basis. She's from New York.
Yeah, but
I said this show does not take place in New York, and I was correct.
Yeah, you said the show took place in New York, sir.
Yeah, but I also... Yeah, but my guess of her career is closer. And also, Kyo said it was a man. Oh,
you also said it was a man.
Fuck.
Did I say it was a man? I just said their name was Tommy.
I guess that's true. You said.
Right.
I think you said his name was Tommy, but good on Kyo for potentially using non-gendered pronouns.
All right, I will concede.
Although the name Tommy is, I don't know how that person's name is. I guess their surname is Thomas, so their name is Tommy.
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense.
They said, "Hey, call me Tommy."
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Tommy. Hey, Tommy! Tommy, hey!
Hey, Tom, Christopher's gotta shut his fucking mouth!
I imagine that's the entire show for about 60 minutes or so.
Oh, God.
Next up, we got ABC. This show is called For Life.
Okay, so it's about a priest who officiates marriages, but he's trying to find a marriage of his own. And he lives in the city.
You know what? I might watch that show.
Oh, that's not reassuring.
For life.
Oh, this is probably. Oh.
Wait, it was probably what? Are you gonna give me a hint, Stare?
Do you want a hint?
Yeah, give me the hint. Maybe it'll sabotage me.
Rival a hint. Remember, you're trying to win this big box. That's definitely not sauerkraut.
It might sabotage me though. It could be a bad hint.
Well, for life is like a sentence you can get.
Okay, so this show is about a man who was falsely accused of a crime, and he's facing a life sentence.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
this show chronologues his legal battle to not go to prison.
Okay, but I think
And his attorney, Saul Goodman.
I think my idea is still better.
I mean, yes, that does sound like
Even if
that
it
does sound
isn't
like a
right.
show that could be like mildly entertaining.
And if your hint is wrong, Stair, you're the biggest anti-genius of the world,
Oh,
because
no.
that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. All right.
So let's see it.
Inspired by the life of Isaac Wright Jr., For
Uh-oh.
Life is a fictional serialized legal and family drama about a
Uh-oh.
prisoner who becomes a lawyer, litigating cases for other inmates while fighting to overturn his own life sentence for a crime he didn't commit.
Wow.
His quest for freedom is driven by his desperate desire to get back to the family he loves and reclaim the life that was stolen from him. Keelan gets the point.
Thanks, you.
Aren't they making a movie about this guy?
No, that's a different black guy who was accused of a crime.
Oh.
Yeah, thanks for the hint, Stairmaster,
Oh,
sucker.
I was hoping only one black guy got accused falsely.
No, unfortunately, there's a systematic history of people being falsely accused.
Oh. Are we done?
No.
Oh!
We still got 2 left.
This is how I win.
Wait, what's the score? Is it 2-1?
It's 2-1 right now, so Stair could make a comeback.
Okay, let's see what we got here.
All right. Next, we got NBC.
Uh-oh.
This one is called Indebted.
Okay, so there's this guy and he almost dies, and this other person tackles him out of the way of like a bus or something, and now he's indebted to that person because it, saved his life.
Okay, so this show follows the life of a repo man. But then he ends up getting in some serious debts.
And then he's repossessed.
He has to fight off repossession.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. All right. Again, Stairmaster came up with an interesting show. Young parents Dave and Rebecca are ready to reclaim their lives after years of diapers and sleepless nights.
Ooh,
However,
repossession.
Expand on that. Hold on.
They're reclaiming their lives. The children have the lives and they're taking it back. Because now they're off to college.
However, things take an unexpected turn when Dave's parents show up unannounced and broke,
Uh-oh.
leaving Dave with no choice but to open the door to the 2 people who gave him everything. But these boomerang parents aren't great with boundaries, and the question of who's parenting whom quickly becomes blurred.
Okay, so the debt is the debt of life given by the parents, which is kind of like saving your life.
Yeah, this is one of those titles where they came up with it and then they had to really strain the premise to get that title to work out.
Either way you look at it, there's a lot of repossession going on here.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have you guys defend your choices again to see who gets the point on this one.
Okay, so my premise was that somebody had their life saved and now they're indebted to the person who saved their life. But the premise of this show is that the parents gave life to the person and took care of them and kept them alive throughout their childhood. So now they're indebted to their parents in a similar vein to saving their life.
Ooh, that's
Okay,
a
so
tough
my
argument.
premise, the guy is trying to keep stuff from being taken from him. And here, the married couple faces losing their freedoms and peace of mind to these boomers.
Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna have to give the point to Stairmaster.
Yes!
How could you?
That's right, Stairmaster gets the point there. He's just really he has a real passion when he speaks.
You just liked his premise better.
That's why
I did, yes.
That's why I lead all the popularity polls.
Yeah, Stair won the popular
Look.
vote on that one.
Why would you go with something interesting for an NBC show, though?
Yeah, that was very dumb of me.
All right, it's a tied game. I'm on the edge of my seat
That's
here.
right.
I want to win this. I want to get this box. I want the insides of this container.
I'm
right,
ambivalent. I just like the glory.
We've got one last show here. It's a tied game, 2-2.
Whew.
Let's see how one of you wins. This is a first for this game. This is a Netflix title.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
I am not okay with this.
Oh. Okay, so some mid-tier comedian's got his own show going on, and it follows him living his life in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And there's some hardships he's not okay with.
I would not watch this show.
I am not okay with this. I'm picturing now. Just stay with me here. I'm picturing a roommate situation where
Yes.
Okay.
This could be in Brooklyn as well.
I'm not gonna put a city to this. This does not sound like a location piece. I just think that there's gonna be a situation where someone has a roommate who is just unbearable. Roommate or housemate or something like that.
Sort of like
just,
Indebted.
who's just completely unbearable and is just messing up their life, like leaving stuff out, knocking things over, drinking all the milk.
Yes.
I hate when they drink all the milk. Like, I want to go get a cold glass of milk, and it's empty.
I need to go to sleep. Come on.
How am I going to cool my upset tum-tum?
Yeah, in the first episode, the protagonist opens up the refrigerator to go grab some milk, and it's gone. And they say the titular, "I am not okay with this."
Yeah,
Then
cue
they get out
credits.
their gun.
There's like a zippy like indie song playing because it's Netflix.
Or maybe they wait till episode 8 to say the title.
No! And then they get out their gun.
Like the very end is just them saying, "I'm not okay with this." Credits.
That is what the credits sound like for both of ours.
Yeah. All right. Oh boy.
What was theirs?
We'll find out. I Am Not Okay With This is an irreverent origin story that follows a teenage girl who's navigating the trials and tribulations of high school, all while dealing with the complexities of her family, her budding sexuality, and mysterious superpowers just beginning to awaken deep within her.
Fuck me!
Yeah.
I don't think it would be fair for you to give that point to either of us.
Yeah, it looks like this is the first tie?
What was theirs premise?
Mine
It was a comedian living in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I was thinking like a movie type show.
Okay, I think I'm closer because this teenager has definitely family living with her that she has to deal with. That was mentioned, right?
Yeah, I guess
If you
that's
want to say that's a
true.
roommate.
Do you think they're drinking the milk?
Look, I use the term housemate as well.
Yeah, true.
Did you?
When you think about it, what are parents but your first roommates?
I don't recall Kia
Yeah.
saying housemate.
I did. I think I did.
Well, Stir, do you want to defend yours?
No.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess Keo
But
gets the point.
I don't think Keo should get the point.
Well, he did. I just gave it to him.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's in the box, Swanson?
Here you go, Keo. Here's this big heaping box of sauerkraut. Here you go, bud.
Now I know how Bernie Sanders felt.
Swanson, give me a better box.
Oh, you want like a bigger box of sauerkraut?
No, I want no sauerkraut in the box. Swanson, get a better box right now.
Wait, but if there's no... Oh, shit!
Uh-oh.
The gun from I'm Not Okay With This.
Stare, go get a box. Quick. An
Okay,
unsoiled box.
I'm gonna get my car and go to the repo agency and see if there's any boxes I can take back.
Oh, be
That's
careful.
going to take a long time. The podcast is going to be over.
The repo agency. Is that a thing?
Okay, I'm back.
Well, he's...
Oh, what?
Wow.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, there were no boxes. Sorry, I guess you're gonna have to die.
Oh.
All right, Swanson. Any last words?
Oh, fuck!
Why'd you shoot the box?
Oh,
well,
no.
I was asking if you...
It's
if
bleeding! Sauerkraut!
This thing's got a hair trigger.
Yeah, I think you should put that away, Q. It's very dangerous.
Yeah, I'm not okay with this.
No, that's not it.
Wait,
That's a very different song.
that's not how the Brooklyn one goes? There you go. Anyway, that's been Guess Who's Coming to the show to TV this month.
Another spinger.
Another smanger. Yeah. All right, well, we can await no further. It's time for us to get to our main event this week.
Ooh.
We watched Avenue 5, and now we're going to talk about it. Armando Iannucci's latest program, after making The Thick of It and Veep and The Death of Stalin, all highly political sort of shows.
Well, one of those was a very long time ago compared to the others, but yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, The Thick of It directly led to him coming to America, though.
Yeah.
And making TV, so that's nice. Yeah, he now returns with his first sort of apolitical show.
Yeah.
Is it apolitical?
You know, it's a little political.
But it's not
definitely
a good kind of political, in my opinion.
I mean,
well, I mean, it has like a vaguely anti-capitalist message, doesn't it?
yeah, it's very vague. It's not like Veep, where it was just like this entire system makes people act like idiots. But it's it's something.
All right, I'm gonna say that the first episode here, most of it made me more uncomfortable than watching Uncut Gems.
Yeah, this is I think there's a lot of this.
Time.
Yeah, similar to Veep. I think it's different from Veep in that Veep has a lot of like insult comedy going on, which makes it very funny. That makes the cringe comedy of it a little easier to like handle. This one doesn't have as many fun insults, so the cringe comedy is sort of the prevalent feeling throughout it.
Oh, can I say?
Yeah, this show did not get a chuckle out of me the entire runtime of 2 episodes that we watched.
Can
I think I got two laughs, and I'll point them out when they come out.
Okay, so this opening theme, for a split second, I thought it was that sad song from Chernobyl playing.
Would you have liked the show more if it was?
I'd be like, well, this is interesting. I think a better show would have started off like that.
This is the thing that interests me, is because all of Iannucci's stuff has is all like really funny insults, right? I mean, I guess Death of Stalin, not really, but like the dialogue is like dialogue is big.
In Death of Stalin, but I think the difference between Death of Stalin and this is that I like the characters in Death of Stalin. I mean, besides
nobody in this show is likable that I can identify.
That's a very big problem for your comedy. I mean, you can have a show full of assholes like Seinfeld or Arrested Development.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's true, because even in Veep, when the characters were reprehensible, and they quite often were, they were at least like funny, which made them at least somewhat charming.
They're just kind of catty and obnoxious in this show.
Yeah.
Also, big mistake naming your first character after me, and then making him be shat upon by everyone for things beyond his control.
So you didn't like everyone saying, "Ryan, you fucking suck! Fuck you,
You're
Ryan!
You're a shithouse!
Ryan, if you were shit, I would put you in the toilet and flush you."
This fucking ship is a kangaroo court!
Yeah. So we open up, and the Captain Ryan is there. He's played by Hugh Laurie, Dr. House.
Oh, that's why he sounded like Hugh Laurie.
Because he is, yeah.
I had a note that he kind of reminded me of Joel McHale.
I guess, yeah. When you think about it, what is Hugh Laurie but the British Joel McHale? Joel
McHale's the guy from Community.
Thank you.
Josh Gad is also here, who you both might remember as the guy who fucks Qbert in Pixels.
Also, okay, so we get a kind of like a establishment of the spaceship layout, which is kind of weird. It's very light sci-fi.
Well, yeah, I think it's supposed to take place in like a slightly a slightly.
It's not a very
far off future.
It's not a rigorously defined world like The Expanse is.
No, well, I mean, yeah, it's just the Earth exists and stuff happens, and there's spaceships now.
And we don't know how the spaceship works, but there is a NASA, which is a weird clash with that whole softness.
It's got technology. It's got gravity machines and a bunch of levers and stuff. It works. It's science.
Also, it's clear that the reason that NASA works because they're a government corporation. This is owned by like a billionaire who made a fucking spaceship.
That's just weird. They should have like some weird fictitious space UN Federation ripoff. I think would have worked better.
But that's not that. I don't think it's set that far in the future.
But
this is basically what would happen if Elon Musk had a space station.
Pretty much, yeah. Although the character that Josh Gad plays, Herman Judd, is a lot different than what I imagine Elon Musk is like.
It seems like they're going very far in the future, considering this is like an 8 weeks journey to Saturn.
But when they're on
also
Earth,
artificial gravity.
When they're on Earth, it just looks kind of like Earth. Like, they mention stuff where, like, they say the Pacific Ocean has become toxic, which implies that they are probably in, like, 2040 or 2050.
Yeah.
They said Google went bust.
Yeah,
they have something called a liquid glove, which, I don't know, that sounds pretty futuristic to me.
Yeah, I guess they must. They must be at least like 20 to 30 years in the future.
I just don't think this world building is committing to whatever it should be.
I mean, probably not. I feel like most of this
too much. I think
there's not really any world building.
Yeah, most of this is like, they're on a ship. What else do you fucking need? And then there's like, now let's get to the setup.
Yeah,
the problem with the.
You probably could, get the Earth-side stuff out of the show entirely. I don't think it adds that much.
It's unnecessary. In both episodes,
it just raises the questions about world building, which are very satisfying.
In the episodes, it adds almost nothing. Like, maybe you could have the one character who's like their contact from Mission Control. That could be fun, I guess. But like, I don't need to see them interacting with other people on Earth.
We don't need this Apollo 13 crap.
Yeah. So we get introduced to my main problem with this first episode is there's a lot of characters. It's like I'm watching The fucking Wire.
It's like
there's a lot of characters, and they do not stop talking and making little quips, and
it's like we're watching The Village.
Normally,
and they keep like rapidly changing their attention to things and making quick comments on things. There's just so much dialogue crammed into this episode that it's just kind of staggering.
Yeah, and that's not usually a problem, right? In Iannucci's other work, it's just like, that's just how these people talk. Yes. They're fast-talking bureaucrats who insult each other and try to get shit done and usually fail. But in this one, it doesn't work, I don't think, as well, because this is just a bunch of bumbling people in a spaceship. Two of the characters who get the most screen time are two characters that, frankly, I'm not interested in at all. Mm-hmm. This one somewhat well-off lady, Karen, who is the passenger.
She's literally named Karen.
I mean, I appreciate the joke that she's just literally named Karen. But, like, this character is just thoroughly unlikable the entire time. Like, everybody here is unlikable, but she is unlikable to a degree. Like, all of the Karen memes, she's unlikable because... In case you don't know what the meme is,
she's like the archetype, I want to speak to your manager. Or do you have a permit?
Yes.
Type. Privileged middle-class woman.
Like, if there were more black people on this luxury cruiser, you can bet she'd be blaming them for the problems going on this ship. So yeah, and then the other character that I can't really get into is Josh Gad's character. I think mainly because I just don't like Josh Gad.
Oh, you mean the CEO, Mr. Judd?
Yes. Yeah, Mr.
Looks like
Judd.
Jack Black.
He looks like Jack Black, and it took me a second to realize it wasn't Jack Black, because if it was Jack Black, this probably would have been funny.
I thought for a second his character was going to be like he's the CEO's incredibly large adult son, but then it turns out he's the actual CEO.
Yeah, that's what I thought was going on too, but
which is weird.
Yeah, strange decision. Because I don't know how he has a company running at all.
Yeah, he should have like some core competency despite his MBLC.
Right. I feel like it would have been a better thing, or maybe it's like a twist they're saving, because they do have a twist in this episode. But like maybe it's a twist they're saving where they reveal that like his father started the company and then like died, and now he's running it into the ground.
Maybe that's where they're going with it.
Because we don't really get a lot of any character outside of Hugh Laurie's.
Yeah, they just established that this guy is unbelievably stupid. Like, he doesn't understand that there's a delay when you're far out in space.
Way stupider than anyone in Death of Stalin, including Stalin's son.
Who
thinks they were trying to steal Stalin's brain at one point. Give it to America.
So yeah, there's a lot of characters in this one, and we get introduced to the person who I think they're not very well developed, but they're at least the closest to being funny as a character type, which is Zach Wood's character, who's named Matt Spencer, apparently. I don't even remember his name.
Astronaut?
No, although he's kind of also funny. That guy was named Spike Williams.
I think he's the closest we got to a sympathetic character, which is a shame.
That's true, but I don't know if he was, like, funny. He was just kind of weird, right? The astronaut guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just like, okay, that's a guy.
Matt Spencer was the head of customer relations guy, who is just completely checked out at this point.
Yeah.
He has some fun bits. There's a part where he mentions that someone has died, and he says if it's any consolation, he had very few loved ones.
Yeah, that was a
which
good
is
line.
It's pretty good.
Not to make you think we like the show.
Yeah. There's also a pretty good line where he says that he's a nihilist, and everything is like, and fate is like jazz, which is also, pretty good. It's good. And yeah, I just enjoy the idea of a character who's just completely, like, it's weird because there's a moment in the first episode here where you sort of see him like still trying to make things work, and then the moment that the ship is blown off course, he gives up and just starts being an asshole. Which, like, fair, I guess.
He's like the most human of them all.
Yeah. But I feel like
I would say he's the most likable character, which is devastating.
Yeah. This first episode, I think, is a problem of having to do a lot in 30 minutes.
They did not need to do all this.
Yeah. I think... Well, no, you just have to edit out half the characters and then you're set.
Yeah, we did not need the family court couple.
Yeah,
absolutely not. You could have introduced most of these characters in later episodes. It would have been fine.
Yeah, focus on the main 4 or 5 people. Like, focus on the captain, the billionaire, the lady who runs stuff, and the engineer lady, and then maybe the customer relations guy.
Yeah, no Karen, please.
Yeah, no Karen. You don't need this couple who's about to get divorced. They definitely don't need to be in this episode.
I think they're the worst part because you can't even contrast them with the rest of the characters because they kind of just act like everyone else does.
Yeah. Like, Karen would be like if you put her in the second episode, that's a good foil to introduce once the premise is there.
Yeah,
but in the first episode,
that's weirdly accepted.
Yeah.
Force of nature.
Like, in the first episode, she is, she just sort of finds everything out for everyone else so that all the stuff can be revealed.
Just like a real Karen would.
Yeah. Like, I feel like it would be more compelling to me if we find out that if we follow the crew and have them find out that everything's been blown off course by 3 years, and then they have to tell the passengers and stuff, and that's when you introduce a Karen who sneaks around and finds it out and ruins it for them. That's more interesting to me, I think, than what we get here.
Yeah, I don't know why there's this instinct for people making shows to have to cram all the characters in at the beginning.
I think it's a contract thing, right?
I think it's because they only have like 6 episodes to work with.
Yeah.
Maybe have less characters next time, I don't know.
Is this really only 6 episodes?
That's what I skimmed Wikipedia and looked like 6.
Wow, that's way too short. This isn't Britain.
This is from the guy who made Beep. Why is HBO so confident?
If you're working with 6 episodes, you do not need all these characters, period.
Yeah. I have to assume Wikipedia just didn't add more because that's ridiculous if this is 6 episodes. That's a 3 hour.
Yeah, HBO strangling this in the cradle if that's true.
Yeah, that's less than that's less runtime than Chernobyl.
Yes.
And this tries to have as many characters as Chernobyl.
Chernobyl took all the scientists and made them into one person.
Yeah, at least there was that.
To cut down on the characters.
Also, another thing Chernobyl did, it didn't introduce all the characters in the first episode. It just focused on the main ones. Anyway,
I don't really comprehend having it was just like nonstop.
Yeah.
Characters being added, crazy things going on, people talking, just yammering on and on, really.
So we get to near the end here and this is where I think my original idea would have had more like juice to it, right? When we get this reveal that Ryan Clark.
Don't say his name.
Then Hugh Laurie's character is a fraud. I feel like it might have had more power if we had been focusing on just the core characters this entire first episode.
The way it is, it seems like it's entirely reasonable. I mean,
yeah,
I don't really see the problem with there being like a spokesperson on the staff.
Also, it's weird that the millionaire dude doesn't know that his own ship runs itself. Well,
he's too stupid to understand it.
Yeah, I guess. Like, who designed it? Did he just say make a big ship and they made it? Like, what happened?
Probably. Like, he just like make it work.
So then he also reveals that he's not English, which is a fun play because Hugh Laurie always had Hugh Laurie's whole thing was fooling people into thinking that he was English or American by playing Dr. House for like 8 years. So it's a fun little play on Hugh Laurie's life.
I thought the whole accent thing was pretty funny. Like, not funny where I laughed out loud, but funny like, oh yeah, that's cute.
So here's the second time I laughed out loud, and I have to give begrudging props to Josh Gad for his delivery on this. When Josh Gad says, "Oh, you're Australian," he says, "No, I'm English." He says, "Oh, even fucking worse." It's pretty good.
Yeah, that was all right. That was probably my favorite scene out of these 2 episodes was where they revealed that he was not a real captain and also that he's English.
Yeah, it's a good little bit. And then the first episode cuts off in like a really odd place. So he's about to go give this speech to the people. They've been blown off course. It's going to take them 3 years to get back home. The actual captain is dead, as he reveals to the other people. Joe was the actual captain. He's dead.
Rest in peace.
And then they just cut off before he gives the speech. It just feels like a really, really odd cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So then we get to...
No, never mind.
So then we get to the second episode, which is a lot slower and a lot worse. I thought that, like, now that they got the setup out of the way, they can have fun with, like, this premise and do whatever. And then the second episode sort of shows that there's not a whole lot of, like, legs to this.
No, they don't even really commit to the premise because they dangle this 6 months thing in front of everyone, so we don't get the.
I mean, but we do have the engineer.
Stuff.
We do have the engineer who seems to be the only competent one, constantly saying that it's not going to be 6 months. So I think they're setting up something where that person's going to make it worse somehow.
Yeah, they do not want to have it set in stone that this is going to be a 3-year voyage.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like Star Trek Voyager, where they insisted that the ship, the Voyager, would be away from home base for like 10 years or whatever, and then they kept adding weird stuff to it for seasons on seasons. Yeah. So I imagine if Avenue 5 goes on for, 7 years, it'll probably be something like that.
I don't see how this doesn't end with everyone, like, most of the people being dead by the end of the season, though.
I mean, we already get, like, 3 new deaths at the end of this one.
Yeah.
Which is the most reliable gag in this second episode. And that's, like, only a slight chuckle at best. So we get more of that slow connection joke because it was so good the first time.
That's like the most painful thing they do on the show is have that delay and comment on it. It's just like, why? Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah, I don't like it. Doesn't feel good.
It's not like 2004 anymore. It's not like a lot of people are suffering from like low download speeds.
Well, no, it's because of the speed of light.
I know why. I'm saying that the joke doesn't work anymore in correlation to us.
Yeah. Or more sympathetic, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, we in this next episode, they're gonna plan a funeral for Joe, but they don't have a casket. So Mr. Judd gives his casket, which is made of solid gold, which means that it can't actually be shot out with enough force to make it take it out of the gravitational orbit of the ship. So then
which is a big reveal that the ship is that massive that things will orbit it.
I mean, we see. Yeah, I guess we briefly see the outside of the ship, but it doesn't really look like anything. So
Doesn't
yeah,
look like anything at all.
Yeah, I really want to know how this ship works. Too bad they don't explain anything about it.
yeah, we need to know like a little bit of something about the ship at least. So, this entire episode, I think, is just like a collection of arguments and bad news, and
also
really...
Karen overstepping her boundaries.
Yes, there's a lot of Karen in this episode.
Did we talk about her breaking into the CEO room?
Yeah, she does that in the first episode.
Yeah, why did the security guard stop her? Why did she keep grabbing the microphone?
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't
She
know.
can't keep
She's
getting
too
away with
powerful.
this.
Karen's powerful. Are you gonna stop her,
Also,
Master?
You know what's never
Yes.
entertaining in television or anything else is when you try to make comedy around people's relationship falling apart.
You don't think that's funny, Kyorain? Look at this. The love has died.
Yeah, like, have you ever seen that portrayed in a way that was genuinely funny?
That episode of The Simpsons where Milhouse's family parents
Oh.
wake up.
Yeah, that's a pretty good episode, actually.
The spaceship should be shaped like dignity, is what I'm saying here.
But the jokes of that episode were not about them bickering, though.
Yeah,
It was
you're
about...
right.
It's true. It was about
Milhouse's-
Milhouse's dad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Milhouse's dad being pathetic.
Yeah.
And Milhouse's mom just constantly upgrading her boyfriends.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, just having them bicker every time they're on screen and having everyone comment on how much they bicker is not
the
funny.
one time they do bicker, they do have a meltdown, everyone's just like uncomfortable and the show takes it dead serious.
Yeah, this is like a Sandler tier level group of characters.
Yes, this is something that's...
Like, these two characters popped straight out of a Sandler movie. And really, when you think about it, space is the ultimate vacation destination for Sandler to shoot a movie in. It's his final frontier.
Oh my god, I'm scared he's gonna do that now.
Well, he didn't win it. He didn't get nominated, so he's now sworn an oath to make the worst movie he possibly could make.
Going to space will somehow make the movie bad.
Yeah. Maybe.
So is this where we get the line, "I'm finding you extremely unenjoyable right now"? Because that's an excellent push quote for the show.
Yes, this is when we get that line.
Sarah, do not doubt Sandler's ability to make something really awful.
Yeah, I mean, look, we all know.
We
We've all
all
watched
deserve
Jack and
this, by the
Jill.
way.
Look, I'm telling you, if you're in space, the fart jokes write themselves.
It's true.
If you are an astronaut and you see Adam Sandler approaching your space station, do not let him in.
You can totally hear Adam Sandler saying, "When you're in space, nobody hears you fart."
I'm in low orbit. Ah, fuck. I'm not good at this. I need to practice.
Do you think Sandler would get like a guitar and start singing Starman? just like our guy Matt Spencer does.
Does Adam Sandler even know who David Bowie is?
I'm sure Adam Sandler knows who David Bowie is. Was.
He probably doesn't listen to him because he's gay, though.
Well, David Bowie was bi.
Do you think Adam Sandler knows what bi people are? I mean, remember Chuck and Larry?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Chuck and Larry definitely precluded the existence of bi people.
Look, it was a simpler time of only 15 years ago.
Hey, maybe for a Patreon we could do a podcast where we watch all the Adam Sandler films.
Nah, that would never work.
That's crazy.
So yeah, we get the funeral for what's his face, Joe. And Matt's customer relations Matt is singing Starman, which is something. He's singing it poorly
also didn't
too.
like that.
He took the lyrics and made them about Jeff.
Yeah.
Joe.
Made him about Jeff.
Fuck.
So then 3 more people die, and Billy, the engineer's solution, is to put them.
How did they die?
They died of their
I wasn't paying
injuries when the
attention.
ship's gravity failed.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lame.
Yeah. I mean,
Did
it's
they
kinda
even
lame.
explain why the ship's gravity failed? Like, all the warning lights turned on at once. That seems like it should
Oh,
be on a
and
follow-up.
They do not explain it. They do not explore it.
In this second episode, they don't explain it at all. But in the first episode, it's because Billy hits the wrong button, which he hasn't explained to anybody yet.
Oh.
Which is also what causes Joe to hit
So
his
it's
head
like
off.
Chernobyl.
Yeah, kinda. So who's gonna be tried is the question.
And the ship didn't have any kind of failsafe or anything for that for some reason.
Well, it is made by a oblivious billionaire, so I guess that makes sense.
I doubt he had any part in engineering it.
Daily reminder:
true.
the Bhopal disaster killed more people than Chernobyl, and that was the free
The what
market.
disaster?
The Bhopal refinery in India is this chemical plant that exploded and killed like 10,000 people. And gave like thousands more horrible chemical diseases.
When's HBO doing a series on that?
Never, since it was a privately owned enterprise.
Oh,
Yeah,
also, it's
we have
Indians,
to-
and
we have to-
HBO don't have that many. It isn't going to cast those people.
Yeah.
We have to take on the communists, not the
Yeah.
business. Also, nuclear is really scary.
Atoms.
The nuclear. So yeah, they try to do another ceremony for these three bodies who are put in like clear caskets because it's efficient and easier to like shoot out, and then they also get stuck in the orbit
Because the gravity gets turned off when they're supposed to jettison them by mission control.
And they don't really explain why that happened, I guess, but it did.
Why it needed to happen?
They mentioned that they need to figure it out, I guess.
Yeah. And like it happens during like an argument between Hugh Laurie's character and Josh Gad's while they're in like the food room.
Sort of like The Shining.
Yeah. Only one person doesn't get locked. One person just gets trapped in some chicken.
Yeah, and this is where they're yelling at Josh Gad for being really stupid and getting NASA to leave them to die. And it's like, why don't they hit him?
Why don't they just shoot him out into space? Who's going to stop you?
Nobody.
Yeah. So then we get...
They shatter the conch and just kill him.
Yeah. By the end of the episode, Karen has led an uprising, and I'm just like, do I have to fucking watch any more of this?
I don't want... Yeah, war in 2020, bro.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much to say about that second episode other than it was a chore to get through.
Yeah, and we skipped over so much recapping it.
Yeah.
So you
The first episode at least had like some stuff to it that was like interesting, and then the second episode shows that there's not a whole lot there. Despite having all of these characters, they can't figure out what they want to do with them. Like, and I'm amazed. I told Stairmaster that this was Armando Iannucci, and he was perplexed, to say the least.
That kind of ruined it even more for me.
Yeah, like I'm confused that this is him, to be honest.
He directed that first episode, so you know he actually did work on this show. They didn't just slap his name on it for having an idea.
Well, I'm looking at it more in depth, and it does say that the story is by him, but the teleplay is by other people, so maybe that's it.
He still
But
directed
the story
it.
is still... Yeah, the story is still him. Well, yeah, directing and writing are different, though.
But directing is a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, this could have been good if they didn't decide to make every character obnoxious and cram them all in at the beginning.
Yeah, I have a note. I don't care whether any of these people live or die. And that's a really bad thing when the crux of your show is man versus nature.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really care about this. Go watch Death of Stalin instead.
Go watch Chernobyl.
Go watch Veep. If you want to watch a show
that's... or Chernobyl.
Yeah. Go watch, you know what, go watch a double feature of Chernobyl and Veep to see how the political systems fail you.
What is the cost of lies?
It's something. It's having to sit through Avenue 5.
Yeah, tune out.
Also, Avenue 5 is just a bad name for a space show.
Yeah.
It sounds like a boy band.
Yes.
Just imagine if episode 1 of Chernobyl, they spent 30 minutes having various scientists react to the situation.
Yeah. Instead, they had a bunch of people slowly die.
Yeah, imagine Chernobyl if episode 1 was just that meeting with Gorbachev. But for an entire hour.
Yeah, that would have been something. Yeah, Kyo, any final thoughts on this?
I did not enjoy this at all. It was
Nope.
It was cringe, but not cringe comedy.
Yeah, I think they took the comedy out, so it was just cringe.
HBO, you posted cringe. You're gonna lose followers.
Like, I feel like all the characters were trying to be funny with their dialogue, but it just became obnoxious because they made little quips, but the quips were not like structured into a joke. They would just say something off the wall at random.
Yeah.
And it got very tired very quickly. I don't really know this person's style. You said it might have worked better in something like Veep, but in this it was just like, oh no.
Yeah.
Who are these obnoxious chatterbox machines?
Yeah, go watch Death of Stalin, Keo.
I'm not going to be so
cheer you
bold.
up.
I'm not going to be so bold as to suggest that Iannucci needs to, like, stay to politics, bro, or anything like that. Like, I'm sure he can make other things that are fun. I just don't think this is it.
But
it's fine.
The weird thing is there is a political aspect to it. It's just so subdued, and it doesn't do the show any favors.
Yeah. It's fine to, like, not... It's fine. Every creator has, you know, a dud every once in a while, and this just happens to be his. He's also apparently working on a new movie about David Copperfield. Maybe that'll be fun. I don't know.
Probably be good.
So, you know, look forward to that, and maybe it'll be better than Avenue 5. Go watch Death of Stalin, or Veep, or In the Loop.
Or
all
Dragon
better
Ball Super
things.
Broly.
Yeah, all better things than this. That's a tune out. Officially, that seems like it's a tune out for Avenue 5.
No, I'm giving this a tune in.
Yeah,
And
don't
also,
joke. This is serious.
and now that it's a new month, I'm proud to declare Dracula is TV Tuner Show of the Month for January.
Oh?
Since that was the only one we said tune in for.
I guess that tracks logically.
It was not the
doesn't
only
it?
one we said tune in for.
What? We watched The Outsider and Lincoln Rhyme.
We said tune in to The Outsider.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Well, we like
sure did,
Dracula
bud.
more.
Yeah, I mean,
What?
sure. The Outsider's okay.
What was The
so far.
Outsider?
Outsider's the Jason, the Mr. Ozarks.
The Mr. Arrested Development.
Wait, this isn't the year retrospective. What are we doing here?
No, it's just Show of the Month.
Whatever. Yeah, go watch Dracula. That's fine. I should probably watch the other 2 episodes of that too. So it holds up. Anyway, that's it for this week's episode of the show. We'll be back next week for more TV goodness. Until then, keep watching. Bye. It's over.
I found them.
Hey folks, it's time for the TV Tuners Fact of the Week. Did you know that Stairmaster has a pet turtle that he named Gregory?
That's right.